Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're doing some more subscriber gameplay, breaking it down. This time we've got Jam sending us a mission, and this is an interesting one because for the first time we're not doing Fortress Hardpoint, man. I'm sick of it as well, don't worry, we will return to it, but for now I think we've done enough Fortress Hardpoint breakdowns for the subscriber gameplay. This is going to be some Embassy Hardpoint, and it's actually quite interesting because he's in a team. Now I believe he said he's gold and his highest he's ever been is platinum, so let's break it down and tell you what I think you could have done better and things you did well. Okay, so starting off, again, you are in a team of 4, so I'm expecting some high standards here because of the communication. I can see you all in game chat, and I'm going to show you guys what I think is a bit different to solo queue, but if you guys play solo queue, don't worry because this will still apply to you. Okay, so we're going to push through here, and you're starting off on the top PD. I don't mind this play. I actually really like this play. You're going to watch over and essentially just try to cover the ground. Now the first opponent's there. Let's see how you approach this one. So you're currently one shot. Let's see how you get out of this one. It's a sticky situation to be in. You're going to re-challenge it. Okay, and yeah, it's just it's not a fun gunfight you're going into right now. So let's kind of see how you approach this. You make him weak, and the guy kind of stands his ground. Now I think instead of kind of constantly trying to do that prone drop shot, I think this isn't really a scenario where you want to be doing it, just because realistically, right, the way you're shooting, every time you're proning, you're not really going to be able to wallbang him. I can see what you're doing. Me personally, I would probably just try to peek the window, try to just center onto him, get the shots off, back off, just do what you were doing, but maybe without the prone. But I 100% see why you were doing it, obviously trying to just camera him and trying to just get away with your life. So I don't mind it, but yeah, you're going to go through, and you guys have all kind of given up P1. So I think 4 of you playing for spawns here is a bit over the top in terms of, I feel like this player here maybe could have went to the right and maybe pushed the hill. I feel like you're giving them a lot of map control here. Now I like the player to go for spawns, and this is actually going to be quite a detailed breakdown, especially with 4 of you. I really want to try and help this team out if I can. So I can see you all going for spawns here, right? But the problem is you're giving them not only the hill, if you think about the mapping quadrant, you're giving them essentially the whole of the map up to this front PD. So from the whole map, right, they're basically going to have that whole area sorted, and you guys are only going to be in this area. So what that does is just gives them so much more map control, so much more pressure, and every time they get the kill, they're actually going to be spawning you in tennis courts because they're going to be able to push through the map. So I like the play of spawns, but I just don't think everybody needs to do so. Let's see how you play this. You're going to push through. Now with an assault rifle, I just think this is just a bit of a risky play, especially as I mentioned, you don't have any map control, okay? So right now you have no intel. Somebody could easily be on the left sitting there, somebody could be on the right. There's so many areas where they could be that you don't really know right now. So you kind of diving across is a very, very brave play, and to be honest, wouldn't work, I'd say, most of the time. But you're going to get through here with your life. Now, there's a lot of times where me personally, I would say dive across, okay? But that's if you got a player maybe pushed out here and you know that there's only one area to watch out from, and then you can kind of take the risk. But this one I don't think is a calculated risk. So you're going to go through here, you're going to push through, 20 seconds left, you're just going to see if you can get in the hill. So now your teammates are helping you, go through, you take out one, and yeah, again, so this is what I mean in terms of map position. Because you didn't really have anybody there, I think, yeah, you kind of went in blindly, and the guy's still watching over, so it's quite a difficult push by yourself. I see what you're trying to do again. I just think the execution was slightly poor. Maybe you could have waited for your teammate there to help you out, but that's okay. 13 seconds left. Let's see how you play the next hill. So you guys have got spawns there. You're going to push through, and let's kind of see where you set up. Okay, cool. I really, really like this spot here. I think the main thing why I like it is because you got a trophy system in about 3 seconds. If you didn't have a trophy system, I would say it's a bit chalked. But because you have a trophy system, I'm happy with this setup. So you got K9 watching in front. You can watch over him, but you can't die here. You really have to play your life. You've got your equipment to work with. Perfect. You're going to chuck a stun over. Great use of equipment there. You're going to chuck a stun, chuck a nade. I like this. I would love you to use your trophy system right here because, as I mentioned, there you go. You're a step ahead of me. There you go. Your trophies down. And yeah, okay, good play so far. Just going to watch over. Now look at the minimap and just think, where are the gaps, okay? So what I probably would do at this situation is, if I can go back slightly, where your teammates position. I want to see where your teammates position because there's something I want to say about this. So right now, ideally, right, you only need one player watching the right hand side. So you see this green arrow, the green dot here. You have him here, and then you have the green arrow here. Hopefully you guys can see it in the top corner. They're both essentially watching the flank. So while you're watching the cross, I would have preferred if your teammate at the back here was watching your left, essentially like a diagonal position. So you're watching this way, your teammate's watching that way. At least that way you've had a bit more coverage, but this is okay for now. They're not really applying too much pressure, and you guys have got a decent setup. So let's kind of go through and see what happens if you hold this. So you're going to push through here, somebody on top of you. There's one, you take him out. Going to go through the second. Let's see what you do. Yeah, I like the jump shot. Perfect. Good play. I would say just a small hit. Again, I'm going to be very, very critical just to help you out. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, but just to maybe like perfect your gameplay. And again, that's not saying I have perfect gameplay, but I try to critique my own gameplay as well. So you're going to go through in this situation, right? What I would have preferred you to do here is, as soon as you got this first kill, I love the use of cover, right? When you're jumping here, just one thing, try to jump on the right hand side here instead of going back here. The only reason I say so is because right there, if this player was a bit better, he probably would have had a clear shot on you. Where if you actually leaned towards the car, towards the van, and then jumped, just a small difference, it probably would have made you a lot harder to kill. Either way, you still did great, but just because he did miss all of his shots. 39 seconds left, you're going to get some good shots off. The nade comes through, you're going to back off, and again, just try to play your life. Yeah, that's what I mean. So right now, that opponent was a bit lost. I think against a better opponent, he's able to take you out, but I love the play from you. You get a 3-piece. The last guy's up front now, and I'm trying to get you prepared for diamond. That's my goal. I want to get you into diamond. So there's going to be certain things here. You're going to get 2 pieces and 3 pieces, and it might be a great play, but against a better player, I want you to be a bit more prepared, and this is one of those examples. So 25 seconds left here. You're going to push through the front. Your teammate's still kind of on the hill. Great. You're doing a really good job of watching over, clearing hill. I love the use of snaking right there. See, that's what I mean. So you've obviously got the mechanics to it down to a T. You know what you're doing. There's no reason why you shouldn't be in diamond. So I'm going to try to find out by the end of the video why you're only in platinum and why you're not in diamond, because I think there's something stopping you. I don't think it's game awareness or gun skill right now, so I need to see what it is, because right now you're doing really good. Gonna push through, you get the bloodthirsty, he spots the enemy here. Instead of challenging him straight away, he's gonna go into cover, recenter onto him. I love this play, great play. You go through, you get the kill, a fantastic play. You're gonna pick up the Vaznev, I'm assuming. There you go, pick up the Vaznev, gonna push through. I love it, great play. Okay, so now your teammate's pushing through for spawns. Now, okay, I don't mind this play. I don't mind this play. You got 7 bullets to work with. Let's see how you approach this. Okay, cool. So your teammate's going to be on the hill now. So hopefully you put a trophy system and maybe watch over him or push out. Okay, the trophy's down. Your teammate dies. There's 2 of them pushing. Okay. So this was a bit of a tricky one. I just think one small thing again is when your teammate's on the hill, you really want to just get there as quick as possible. Okay. Now, while he's watching that ladder, if I was you, I would be thinking about the stairs. The stairs are my next area of danger. So even just stopping here for those 1 or 2 seconds, although it doesn't seem like a big thing, it actually stopped you from getting to those stairs. So let's say you were 2 seconds ahead, you probably could have got to the stairs, but I just think it's really unlucky timing because the opponent pushes through. And I think another play here, honestly, what you could have done is if you told the player behind you, so right here, as you're approaching this area, okay, if you tell the player behind you, get my ladder, I'm pushing stairs. Just that one call out, it gives him the indication, right, he needs to watch ladder for you. You're going to push the stairs, and then you probably could have got this kill. But again, it was quite a difficult situation. But what's happened is you guys are getting 3-piece. This guy's by himself, and you've actually gone 4 down. Just from a small little play there, I feel like maybe a bit more communication of telling him to get ladder probably could have helped you out. But let's push through here and see how you approach this. So one way you can kind of go through here is you could jump through here. You could jump on there and maybe get a bit of height. But one thing that I noticed is that no one's cleared these top windows. So I'm assuming somebody's going to be there. And I think somebody did shoot you, as I saw a second ago. There. So somebody did end up shooting you. So you guys maybe need to clear that area first. And I think it's just about pushing together and clearing the lanes before you guys push. Again, you're playing as a 4-piece right now. So there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be coordinating more and just pushing areas together. You're going to push through, your teammate goes. Even there, your teammate could have waited maybe 2 seconds and just gone with you. But with 25 seconds left here, you really need to decide to either push the hill or rotate. So I don't mind you rotating. But honestly, I think when you're here, right, with 30 seconds left, you might as well just go for it, even if you die, because you're going to end up spawning at the new hardpoint anyways. Just because right now you're basically by yourself, you've guaranteed them 30 seconds. That's something I really want to talk about. I think sometimes you have to find a way to rotate and when to hold spawns. Now, I always say rotation's good, but sometimes I think giving them a guaranteed 30 seconds can be quite scary. So your teammate's by himself, he's not really going to challenge the hill, and you've essentially given them a guaranteed 30. So what happens is if you're going to give them that guaranteed 30, you really do have to make up from the next hill. You have to make sure you get a money hill. So let's see how you approach this. You're going to go through, you're going to push the spawns. I really like this play. Going to use this area as cover. Great play. You've got the stun grenade to work with as well if you really want to chuck it over. There you go. And yeah, great play so far. You're going to push through. So again, you've given them a lot of time. Your teammate's got a few seconds. You've actually taken the guy on the spawn. So great play once again. You're doing a really good job of anchoring, rotation. So I don't mind you rotating here. Let's see how you approach this. So your teammate's in the hill. Now you're watching the front, okay? So put the trophy system down any second here would be very useful. I think you're going to do so because you're quite good with your trophy so far. Okay, so yeah, maybe could have put your trophy down. But the way you've been playing with your trophies, I'm sure you know this. Good shots, really good shots there. Snaking very effectively. Yeah, you definitely should have put your trophy down by now just because there's so many opponents in front of you. I think right there, again, they didn't really, do too much themselves, but you can only fight what's in front of you. I love this play here. You're snaking well, you're shooting well. Yeah, I think great play so far. You're going to go through the right-hand side. You're going to watch behind you. One thing I like to do personally on this spot, just as a bit of advice, is once you get these 2 kills here, right? As soon as you turn around, so let's just wait for this second kill. Some good shots as well, really good shots. So yeah, instead of just watching behind, I would go the extra step. I know you've got a teammate there, but if you really want to watch that flank, just jump on this head glitch just to get that peace of mind that no one's flanking you, and then return here. It only takes about 3 seconds, but you then know that nobody's flanking you. Because right now, what you're doing is you're watching the back, right? but you're essentially only watching the push through. So for example, if somebody pushes through and goes behind them on the hill, you can't see that from this angle. So I don't think this is a really useful turnaround. Again, I'm being very, very picky just to perfect your gameplay, but you're doing great so far, honestly. But there's a reason why you guys aren't winning, and I think there's a few hard points you kind of let slip, but it's okay because you guys should have a good money hill here. So yeah, as I mentioned, your teammates there. So I think right now, I think one thing I would say is to be a bit more, how do I say this? I feel like you should command your team a bit more and tell them where to push out, because I feel like you're a good player, and if you are going to force like with this squad, I think the main thing I'm seeing is positioning lack of awareness. So for example, right here, right, you got Nick to behind, you've essentially got two players sitting here, but this isn't really doing a lot. So right now he's not really watching anything, so I'd prefer him either going to the left or sitting in the hill or going upstairs, just being a bit more valuable, maybe watching those left lanes in the hill or the left corridors, because him sitting here, he's not really helping your team. But let's see what happens. Your teammates get a three-piece, you're going to watch the front. And one thing I also want to speak about is sometimes mixing things up and pushing your enemy lanes out. Now, I'm not saying this is a right play right now. You don't have to do this right now. But what I would say is once you get 3 or 4 down, sometimes I like to mix things up. So what I like to do is maybe go prone here, maybe go a bit forward, just get into different areas so that when they push for the second wave, you're not only in the same place, you've actually pushed up. So when you kill them, they're going to spawn even further out. So just a bit of a hint there. Once you get the 4-piece, just to push through. But your teammate goes through. It's a 1v1. You're snaking this right hand side. This might be a time to maybe commit with your teammates, because you're noticing, no one's pushing the right hand side. 30 seconds left. You see that no one's here. So while your teammates are all fighting in the hill, as soon as one of your teammates goes down, I think you either need to push up towards the door so you can hold the right angle, but you're closer to your team. Because I feel like right now you're doing a good job. But as I mentioned, if your teammate all dies right now, it's going to take you a couple of seconds to get the trade. At least that way, if you're closer to the door, right, you can at least help them a bit quicker. So 20 seconds left here. You probably should start rotating or helping your teammates to see what happens. So there you go. So this is my point, right? Look what you did here. So you waited. Okay, so now it's contested. Let's see how long it takes you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 seconds, all right? Maybe I was a bit, maybe I kind of a bit slow there. But if you were by the door, that's about 2 seconds, okay? So those 2 seconds, I'm not sure I think you get the kills regardless. But again, in a diamond lobby, you might not have got those kills. And just a small plays will help you in the bigger circumstances. So you're going to push through. You actually get the first kill, which is great. You're going to push through. And the second guy lines up. You're going to take him out. Again, really good stuff there. But if you didn't get those kills and your teammates died, those are 15 seconds that you probably could have got back. Now, this is another big problem. So just a small thing here, but I think it's quite a big problem. When there's a 4 stack, there should be no reason why there should be 2 of you or 3 of you in this hill at any time, especially with 15 seconds left. As soon as you get this kill, your teammate here or you have to be rotating, okay? These are like 5-6 seconds that are so crucial. And if you think about it, right, all 4 of you are in the hill with 8 seconds to go. I know some of you are rotating and pushing through, but the fact that all 4 of you are here is just not good, especially with this much time left. You should all be rotating and just making the most out of it. Maybe one of you on the edge of the hill, but that's okay. And let's kind of see what you do here. So you're going to push through, and I don't mind you playing a little bit slow here. But you have to be careful, right? Because every second you're wasting there is essentially giving them more time to set up. I know you're fighting for that kill, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. You're going to push through the left here, hopefully to get the spawn. Your teammates pushing through the left. You're going to go through the front. And I think right now you're acting like the main slayer, so I'd love to see you more involved with the spawns. You're going to push through. Great play. Your teammates going through the left. Okay, so while your teammates are going through the left, I love this play to pinch. Your teammates doing a really good job. I really like this left play. That's probably the best way to push the hill. And while they're doing it, you need to be a bit more aggressive and just really help them out, because they're at the door right now and you're taking your time. You need to be a bit more aggressive and just making sure that you're helping them out, because right now your teammates are dead. You're basically going to make it a 1 versus 2. So yeah, this push right now, this was a missed opportunity in my opinion, okay? So while your teammates were here, I really think you should have played more aggressive. You've got a grenade in hand. I would have opened this door, shouldered it, chucked a grenade in. I just think being a little bit more aggressive, even if you die here, right? Imagine you jumped in or opened double doors or just shot people in here. You would have distracted them and allowed your teammates to push through. What you're doing here is you're kind of holding and hoping for the best, but what's happening is your teammates are now isolated. They're now left in a 2 versus 1, and as soon as your teammate backs off, you're now pushing in. So it's a great play to push in, and you've actually guessed correctly, because you see one there, but I want you to notice something. Your teammates backed off and now you're 1 versus 3. So again, you get this kill, and imagine like this, right? Imagine you came in 5 seconds ago and you got this kill. This guy here would have turned around. Look what happens. This guy would have turned around and looked at you. Your teammates would have got the kill. So it just would have been a lot easier, or your teammates would have been in a 3 versus 1 because you taken out this guy, and then this enemy here would have been in a 1 versus 3. So just a small thing again, but I definitely think that could have helped you and your team probably break the hill. So just really small changes I think you guys can make in terms of your timing and your pacing, and I think you guys are good to go, man. So far so good play. I think a few of the hard points you guys have been lost is down to just poor kind of planning in terms of breaking the hill. Yeah, I wouldn't shoot my teammate. Not advisable. I don't, maybe a personal vendetta right against him. You just kept frying your teammate. Gonna push through. 10 seconds left here. So let's see how you play this. Okay, I like this play to go up top. Again, you got the cruise missile to work with. You got the TAC 56. Gonna push through. I love the drop shot there. Really good shots. Again, you're winning a lot of your gunfights, which tells me that you shouldn't be in this level. You should be in a level above. Normally, you should be maybe 50-50 with gunfights in your level. Like, it should be a bit more back and forward. But honestly, you're winning majority of your gunfights. So great stuff so far. Okay, so we're back on P1. You're gonna push through. Take out the first guy. And yeah, there's no real reason why you guys should be behind. I think talent-wise, you're obviously a lot better. You're slaying out more than them. Now, the main problem with this, right, is if you're going to be having games like this where you're really close, in fact, you're losing against players that you're better than, then there's a real fundamental issue. And I really think it's in your team setup. I think you guys are playing a bit too compact, and when you are pushing, I think it's just not as a unit. So I don't think it's an individual problem. And honestly, I feel like you're a very good slayer. So yeah, I would recommend you maybe just watching some VODs with your teammates if you guys are trying to get better. I would say just watch the gameplay together, or maybe hopefully this video can help you out. And there's certain scenarios where you guys are just not like playing as a team, playing as a unit. No one's really pushing out. And I feel like if you guys maybe had your roles and played a bit more just aggressive and pushed out slightly more, I think you guys are good to go, man, because there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be in diamonds. You're going to push through here. You're going to push through the right hand side. Your teammate goes through, and yeah, this P1, you're doing a good job. I like this play to watch this middle area. Again, I think this lobby is just one of those lobbies where you're playing confident, you're bullying your opponents essentially. But if that's the case, then you guys definitely should be winning. I feel like when you're slaying like this, when you're bullying your opponents, it should only be the case when you're kind of frying them. I think, yeah, so that's something that you guys maybe need to look at. You're going to push through. Good play there again. Your gun skill's not a problem. You're winning a lot of your gunfights. It's just literally the positioning of the team. And yeah, just maybe certain power positions where I feel like you could get to slightly quicker. So let's kind of see what happened there. Sorry, I got a bit distracted. I really want to see how you guys approach this P2. So you're going to push through to P1. So the P2 just popped. And yeah, so your teammates push through the front. And again, just a really, really small thing here, but I think what you should do is just go to the left here. Go to the left because you always want someone on that back head glitch. And if you're not going to do that, that's okay, because you're going to try to soak this guy. You're going to try to find him. So as soon as you get this kill, I think now's a good opportunity to back off, because it's already been 10 seconds, right? Your teammate's pushing through the front. This teammate here, he's either telling you someone's there or he's scared to push the hill. So you should either push through, or you guys should go together. You should go through the back and break that guy there just to get the hill kind of advantage. You're going to push through here. And as soon as that guy gets the opening break, you're going to push through. And as soon as a trophy system hit you, yeah, that was kind of chalk. That wasn't really fortunate. It was quite unfortunate. Bad timing. But again, I feel like you kind of create your own luck there. If you kind of backed off slightly earlier, you might have been good to go. So I'm curious to see why you switched to the SMG. But let's see how this works out for you. So you're going to push through. First guy takes you out. And again, I think you guys had a really good advantage in terms of the rotation. You guys were good to go, but because nobody really pushed through the back, you guys all went through the front. Okay, the problem with the front is there's so many angles where they can kill you. There's so many different areas they can shoot you from. It's just so difficult to push through the front. So I always recommend trying to go through the back, trying to go through the middle area, and then maybe one player flanks through the front. But all three of you going through the front, it just causes problems for your team. Now you're going to push through the front here again. This is what I mean. So right now you're pushing through the front. You're watching the left. Somebody could shoot you from there. Somebody could shoot you from top there. Somebody can come out this door like they did. And there's just so many areas that you have to center onto. It's basically impossible to predict, and that's why it's very, very difficult to break here. And that's why the ultimate setup is essentially having the opponent spawn tennis court, which is exactly where they got you. So now looking at the scoreboard, you're like, right, we're down by 20. This one's chalked, but we got time. We can rotate here and we can make a play. So I'm very curious to see why you've gone to the old hardpoint here with 18 seconds left. If you're going to push through the hill, I don't mind this, but again, I think this is just wasted time, and I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided, to be honest. So right here, when there's 25 seconds left, right, as soon as you spawn up, I think personally you either push through the front and just try to break it, or you just start rotating. Now, I personally think you should have started rotating. The reason is because by the time you get there, you're probably going to get like 12 to 13 seconds. But again, against a diamond team right now, if you're going up against crimson lobbies, because I go up against crimsons right now, right? And one thing I noticed is that even in solo queue, everyone's rotations are on point, which is obviously good, but it can cause you some problems if you're not rotating. So against maybe a diamond or a crimson lobby right now, what I think they would have done is they would have rotated through the right side of the map up the ladder, and they would have probably, you know, started to get to the new hardpoint. So you going through right now, especially this route on the left, you're basically taking the longest route possible to get to the new hill. What they would have done, right, they would have set up on the new hardpoint. they would have got the kills on your teammates and spawned you out and essentially got another 60 points. So 15 seconds left here. Now, I want you to look at this. By the time you actually realistically get on the hill, there's going to be about 8 seconds left. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion, because you're basically leaving your teammates in a 3 versus 3. So yeah, I just don't think it was really worth it. You're going to go through. You're going to die anyways, but obviously that was a difficult gunfight. But my main point is I just don't think that that specific rotation was probably worth it. So you get quite fortunate because your opponents didn't rotate. But again, I think that just plays into the lobby and the level you're in. As you get a bit more advanced, maybe you get to diamonds, maybe you get to crimson, I really think that the rotations are going to start to hurt you guys. So I think getting used to it now would just definitely benefit you. You're going to push through. You're watching the scrap. You're watching the old hardpoint. I don't mind this play. Going to push through. I think watching the bottom here is a good play. You take out one. There you go. Your teammate pushes through. And yeah, again, I think it just depends on your set. I think your initial setup just not great as a team. So right now there's 4 of you, okay? 3 of them are here. Now, I don't mind you pushing this right-hand side, but honestly, because they're both there, I feel like you could just play this bottom area. You could play these stairs. You could play bottom orange and just play around there. Or if you're going to push this area, you need to be a bit more like, I think you need to rely on your team. Okay, I think you're relying on your team too much here in terms of, I feel like you're trusting them here too much, where I feel like because you're the main slayer, I would have preferred if you played through bottom orange and just got those kills. Or if you're going to play this area, that's okay, but then you got to know when to rotate. Once this hill's gone past 5 seconds, the guy's probably rotated. There's no way he's still here. And if he is, he's quite useless on the map. So once you're at this point, I think you need to rotate as quick as possible. And as soon as your teammate dies, you're then rotating. But I think it's a little bit too late. As you see, your teammate's going to push through. And again, I think another problem here, right? This is actually the biggest problem, I think. Your teammate here is watching the right-hand side. If you just think about it, okay? If you actually just pause and think about it, you're essentially leaving these 2 teammates on the hill in a 2 versus 4. You're hoping somebody's here, but that's all hope. And in this case, nobody's there. So you guys are basically leaving them in a 2 versus 4. And if your opponents play that well, that's going to be 8 grenades. Sorry, not 8 grenades. 4 stun grenades, 4 nades. And they're probably going to kill one of your teammates. And as soon as they do kill him, they're going to be able to collapse on the hill. Now, I think, honestly, right here, this is your opportunity to make a play. So if you don't see anyone on the right, you should have pushed through the left here. So even here, like, backing off here, I think push it through the left. And then this is an okay play, but maybe cutting through there and just trying to be a bit more chaotic, trying to break some lanes, trying to get some kills. You're going to push through, you get 1, and this is what I mean, your teammates actually end up getting 2-pieced. And I feel like, again, your teammate on the left, he should have reacted a bit earlier. I feel like he's watching the flank, but you can see your teammates are spawning there, so he's essentially doing nothing, leaving you in a bit of a sticky situation. So you're going to push through, you're going to take him out, and again, your teammate does end up trading you, but it's just a lot more mixier than I think it could have been. I think this could have been a guaranteed setup, and you'd only lost about 5 seconds there, so you guys did a really good job of regaining, but I definitely think it could have been avoided. You're going to go through. I love the shots right there in terms of the spraying, the single fire. It got a little bit mixy at the end, but really good shots to kind of slow down, control your recoil. You're going to push through, you're going to dive across. I'm not really sure what's on your gun, if I'm honest with you. It looks like a bit of a weird setup, so I need to have a look at that one. I think you got a grip on or something. Yeah, there's something there. I don't know what this is, to be honest. I should know, but yeah, I don't know if that's an underbarrel or something, but yeah, looks a bit of a weird setup to me, but let's go through anyways. Gonna push through, you're gonna get the kill, you're gonna all go through the right hand side. I don't mind this play at all. You're gonna push through, you're gonna chuck a stun in. Now I think, again, another really big thing that I don't actually have the comms on right now because it's too loud, so I can't hear your comms. But one thing, if you guys are playing as a 4 that I haven't actually discussed, so yeah, I need to discuss this. The biggest advantage of playing with a 4 is you can use your tacticals together. So right here, if I was you, I'll be telling them, right, everyone chuck your stun and nade in this left door. That's 6 equipments right now. There's 3 of you. That's 6 pieces of equipment. That trophy is getting fried, and then you'll be able to break the hill. So you're going to chuck yours in, okay? You see, boom, there's a trophy right there. If your teammates also chuck theirs in, you see this guy's gone to the right. If he chucked his in as well, it's just so much easier to break it. But instead, you guys are going separately. He's going through the back, which, again, I don't mind. It's a good play, but I just think using your equipment together is a really good play. So you're going to push through here. Again, you're taking out 1. Now, I think this is where you guys need to play together. I think this is where the bait and switch can come through. Guys can go through the same door. I feel like a better play here would have been... There's a few options you guys could have done here. There's definitely a few options, okay? So your teammate's going through the back. I don't mind this, okay? But think about it. You're basically going through 3 different doors at 3 different times. You either go through the same door or the same 2 doors together, or you go through all 3 doors at the same time. That is a key thing here, because then they can't look at all you. What's happening is you guys are all going through different doors, which is okay, but at different times. So you're essentially making it 3 versus 1 all separately. So look at this, right? So your teammate's going to go through the back. I think he gets a kill, which is great. You're going to get another kill. Now, by the time you get in, okay, so now you're in a 1v1. Your teammate isn't there yet, and your other teammate's not at the back door. So if you waited 2 more seconds, okay, let me show you what could have happened in an alternative universe if you maybe just waited a few more seconds. So as soon as you get this kill, cool. You don't know he's in the right corner, so obviously that's all in hindsight. if you waited for this teammate to push through, by the time he got to the door and then jumped in, let's just kind of play it out. So imagine right now, even if you jumped in first, that's okay because you're one shot. I don't mind that. If you waited another 2 seconds, right, when he was approaching the door, he would have been able to get that trade. And then what would have happened by then is the teammate at the back, he would have then been able to trade your teammate, and essentially you guys would have broken the hill. So you see this enemy here, he would have been taken out last, but let's kind of see what happens. So it's all mixy. Your teammate does end up getting the 2-piece, but again, this is like one of those scenarios where you're like, oh, great play. But if you waited 2 more seconds, you probably all could have been alive there. Now, let's just say in a different universe where that guy drop shots and kills your teammate here, you guys lose that actual whole setup because of one bad bit of timing. So I think one thing I kind of want to talk about is a lot of people get the play. For right now, you guys have got the hill, so you might be thinking, great play. Now, obviously, it was a good play, but I'm just trying to get you guys to learn the craft of perfecting your play. So that way, hopefully all these subscribers, everyone in the community knows when they're making a wrong play and it's working, or when they're making a right play. Because what happens is the best players in the world, the good players, they do the best play, the right play, as common as possible, right? Because sometimes you can make the terrible play and it works out. That doesn't mean it's a good play. That means you got lucky. So let's just say this was a 1 in 10 times of working, right? If it works the 9th time, that doesn't mean it's a good play. It's a very low likely play, and against good players, it's not going to work 9 out of 10 times. That's not good odds. You always want to play the odds. So you're going to push through here. Again, I don't mind this play. I can kind of see what you're doing, but 30 seconds if you're by yourself, I think one thing you could do is just use your equipment, try to get any advantage you can, because it's quite a sticky one. You spot the guy there, and this is just a really difficult gunfight. I don't think this is really, you can't really wallbang this, so I can see why you kind of, went for the left. I just don't understand the logic of kind of checking the left, because especially when there's a guy looking right at you, I feel like that was maybe in the game, it was a bit hard to predict because of just how fast the pace was. But again, I feel like if you're going to push like that, maybe just wait a few seconds. It's not ideal, but you're not really going to get the kill by it. I feel like what my point is, right here, you're guaranteeing not to get the kill, okay? If you guys are going to commit to this 30 seconds, that's fine. Just wait for a few seconds. Let your teammate push through. And I think in solo queue, I do this a lot. I'll probably push by myself, but because you're playing as a team, that's the advantage. Use your unfair advantage. The fact that you're playing as a 4-stack, you can wait for your teammates, just distract them, jump across this door, chuck a stun, chuck a nade, jump across, let your teammate push through. Because look at this, there's 32 seconds left, right? As soon as you die, there's 30 seconds left. Look when your teammates get there. Let's kind of wait for the timer. Your teammate ends up getting there at 25 seconds, okay? So if you waited 5 seconds, you would have been in a 3 versus 3, but instead you went by yourself. And although in hindsight, again, sounds really obvious, but I can see why you did it in the game. It's quite difficult to do. 15 seconds if you're going to push through, and it's just a really mixy situation now. 14 seconds, and you guys actually end up losing that scrap time. So I think, again, that's a big rotation where you guys probably could have got the scrap time. But I've got a feeling, because I know you guys win this game, I've got a feeling this is where the game turns around. So let's kind of see what you do on this setup. So you're going to push through here, and yeah, you're pre-aiming in front of him. Now, I don't mind this play. I don't mind you're going to go in front of him. You're going to watch through. There you go. So I know you like to play aggressive. You're going to push through. You get that first kill. You actually get a great 2-piece there. So really, really nice 2-piece. You're going to push through. And as soon as you take him out, lovely drop shot, jump up, really good. So your gun skill is great, man. Great gun skill there. Your movement, your finesse, everything's perfect there. You're going to push through the left. Yeah, I like to shut the doors personally because, again, I feel like against a better opponent, they're going to chuck a stun through and you're probably dead there. So just a little tip there. I probably would prefer to shut the doors, especially when the doors are open. I feel like it's quite obvious you're there. That guy just kind of walked into it. He's a bit faded. You're going to push through. You're going to back off. And I feel like one thing you're doing is you're doing a lot, which again at this level is fine. I feel like you're kind of frying, but as you get to the higher levels, okay, that's my perfect example. So right now I feel like because you did the doors the first plan, this is what I think would happen against a better player. He would know you're there and take you out. So I think in the same situation, shut the doors, back off. You still got your equipment to work with as well. So I would have liked you to maybe use your equipment here just as insurance. So once you get this kill, again, you're frying, you take this kill. When you're here, right, you're weak, just chuck a stun. I know your teammate's there, but as he goes through, just chuck a stun on the door, regen, while you're reloading, shut the doors, chuck a nade out, just get a bit of time, build a bit of time between yourself and the hill. But the game's getting closer and you guys are doing a great job on this hill. You got about 15 kills there, so I can't really fault you. And I definitely think that somebody should have watched the back there. Again, I think against a better team, you guys are going to get broken very, very quick. I feel like right now, as soon as you get this kill, right, your teammate's there. There's no reason why he should be coming in this hill. There's no reason why he should be coming through. This right here is faded. He shouldn't be going through there. In my opinion, he should be going left, going back to the truck and watching the flank. Just watching over, making sure no one pushes through these doors. Because think about it, there's one door here where my mouse is. There's one door here, okay? Then there's one door behind you. Let me go back to it. So there's one door, as I mentioned. Then there's this door here. So this is door 1, okay? We'll call this door 1. Let's get back to where we were. So this is door 1. As soon as you back off, you get the 3-piece. Great play. This is door 2. Okay, cool. So your teammate's watching door 2. You're watching door 1. You actually backed off to help him, which is great. You're going to get... So you guys have got door 1 and 2 covered. in my opinion, door 3 is the back here. Your teammate should have covered door 3, so you guys have the ultimate setup. What he's done is he's essentially, again, pinched you guys in a situation. This is what I spoke about earlier. You guys are playing very compact on the hill. You don't really have anyone pushing out. Now, again, even you're frying, but you're frying on the hill. You're frying around the hill. If your teammates are going to be playing very passive around the hill, and you're playing this very aggressive SMG role, you need to be the one pushing out. You need to be the one cutting lanes. If no one's going to anchor spawns, you need to be pushing the enemies back as furthest as possible. And I'm not really seeing that. I'm seeing you fry, but again, I'm seeing you fry in very close combat situations because you're obviously more talented than your opponents. But against a better team where the talent's a bit even, where they're playing a bit more together, if you're losing a gunfight, your team's going to get broken very, very quickly. And I feel like that might stop you from getting to diamond. I feel like right now you're probably into situations where when you're better than them, you're just frying. Like again, like right there, like you're winning so many gunfights where you're just absolutely just shitting on them. You're just better than them. But when it comes to a game where you're not better than them, you guys are quite evenly matched, it's going to be very, very difficult. But you're going to push through 8 seconds left here. And as you can see, look how easy that push is, like the one you just went through. So you always want to be watching that. That is the most effective one in the game. But into P1 here, let's see what happens. I want to break this one down, the ending of the game. So you're going to go through. I like the shots. You're going to back off. And yeah, you spot a guy again, take him out. I think overall your shot's great, your sensitivity, your center, everything's good, man. Your aim's great. But right there, see that guy killed you. There's going to be times that your 50-50s are going to be a bit harder to win. And when you get to that level, the way you guys are currently playing, it's going to be very difficult to level up. So your gun skill's great, but you need to add a bit more to your game in terms of situation, setups, pushing out. But I think all that will come. I think the biggest thing you guys can do is watch VOD, and hopefully this video again can help you and just see certain areas where you guys can improve. Going to push through here. One thing I like to do just as a side note, and maybe it could help you out, is instead of jumping into the hill, because you don't know exactly where they're going to be, I like to personally slide across or jump and then jump again just to get the kill and basically don't risk dying. Don't risk getting traded because you never know when someone's watching over you. So what I would do is jump across, get the kill, then jump into that area just to have a bit of momentum, just to get out with your life. But again, great play. You turn around and yeah, I mean, I don't mind you dying there. There's so many angles you have to watch there, so it's not really your fault. Your teammate's watching over the hill. Nix has got the AR right, like a sentry gun. He's got that ready. You only need 15 seconds to win here, so I don't mind this play. And yeah, no one's watching the back right. And I think this is the same scenario I'm talking about. Setup. So you got someone on the stairs. You're watching the bottom, your teammate's watching the top, your other teammate's watching the left. Now, realistically, if somebody's flanked on the right with dead silence, if somebody's in your spawn right now, no one's going to know. There's no intel. Now, your teammate's pushing up. There is no intel of the spawn. And you're playing this area, again, you've basically given this spawn for free. If somebody wanted to and they came behind you right now, they could probably get a 3-piece without getting any bullets to them. They'll probably get a 3-piece without anything affecting them. You're going to go through, and I feel like you really just won this because your enemies just didn't rotate properly. I feel like I mean, the fact that the game was this close shouldn't be the case. You guys were frying them. I'm very interested to see the kills at the end of this. But yeah, good use of doors. You're going to push through. I don't have any problems with where you're playing, man. You're slaying. Everything's perfect. It's just that there's certain things I am talking about that is costing your team in terms of like positioning. Now, right there, look what happened, right? There you go. This is the perfect example. Look at this, okay? You guys have got a setup. There's no reason why you guys should be broken. And look what happens. Somebody actually contests the hill. He gets a free kill. So Eager Adam goes behind. He gets a free kill. And he contests. Now, if that Eager play was better, he would have actually taken out your teammate. And if he had reinforcements there, you guys have actually just lost the game. Think about it like this, right? If your teammate died here, if the opponent was slightly better and he killed your teammate, and then his teammates was with him, you guys have actually just lost the game, mate. You only need 9 seconds, but they will easily get 25 seconds. So even after everything you've done, after the amazing game you've had, you guys have left this area open, and that one mistake could have cost you the game. You're going to push through, you're going to take him out. He was just sitting there for no reason. But again, against a better team, I really think they would have made you, you know, cost out there. I don't know if that's English, but you're going to push through. Good 2-piece, and you're just doing a great job of cutting the lanes. And yeah, overall, man, really, really good gameplay. I think my main thing I want to say is, as I've said so many times, you're playing with Silver. I'm not sure they're your friends or what, but if you guys can play together and just work on that positioning aspect, you're clearly the best in this lobby. You're Platinum 2, so you're obviously frying. I think use that to your advantage. Push out the lanes a bit more. You're getting 21 seconds on the hill, so you're obviously playing that aggressive SMG role, but I'd like to see you play that a bit more advanced. I mean, I know half the game you were playing for spawns, which I would always advise, so that's great. Keep doing that, but if you are going to play the SMG role when you do turn to it, make sure to push out your opponents as much as possible to cut them back. YouTube, I hope you guys did enjoy the breakdown. Jimmy Jams, thank you for giving the gameplay. I really appreciate it. Great stuff. And yeah, 1080p as well, man, so I cannot complain. Hope you guys did enjoy. I'll try to get another episode in the next few days. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.